Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the Big Time Talker Podcast. We're broadcasting live at the American Library Association's annual conference and exhibition in beautiful San Diego, California, in the Podcast Pavilion. And our engineer, Greg, tells me that we have an incredible guest next. So we're going to get to it. I should remind you, by the way, the show is brought to you by SpeakerMatch.com. We wouldn't be here without SpeakerMatch. They're the world's largest online virtual speakers bureau. If you're a platform speaker, maybe you're an author that wants to talk more about your book, or maybe you're a meeting planner and you need a great, children's book author to come in and speak to your group, you can find one another at SpeakerMatch.com. We do have new episodes, by the way, of the podcast every Tuesday. You can get them at Spotify, you can get them at iHeart, wherever you download your audio entertainment. Rita Reed is our guest today. She is the multi-award-winning children's book author of the Dogfish book series, Dogfish Tales, and the new book just won some big hoity-toity award like this week, right?
Oh, it did.
What? Tell us, come on. Spill the beans.
So my last book, Dogfish Just Be You.
Yes.
It just won the Golden Wizard Book of the Year 2023, and I'm very honored to be named the recipient of that award.
Look at you. You need some sort of tiara, perhaps, to wear. So Rita's has written that. This is the third book in the series, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and so all of these have won Mom's Choice awards. So we have Dogfish Who Saves the Ocean, Dogfish Stands Up to Bullying, the new one, Dogfish Just Be You. What in the world inspired you at some point in your life to write a book about dogfish? How did that happen?
Well, my father was a huge inspiration for me growing up.
Okay.
He was a scuba diver in the 60s, and we were always at the beach. So the beach was just part of my life.
Right.
And I grew up in California, and we always watched Jacques Cousteau. Never missed a series. Big part of my life.
I remember Jacques Cousteau, sure.
Yeah. So my dad would go scuba diving, and he'd come back and he would tell us these amazing stories of his interactions with different sea creatures. And,
right.
And then, I'd be watching the Jacques Cousteau series and I'd see it, and it was just always in my mind. And then years later, I dreamt about Dogfish. He came to me in a dream, and I always enjoyed drawing as a child. I would draw little characters and write stories about them. So that's what I did. I just started to draw him from my memory of my dream, and my favorite color is orange, so he's orange, and has a yellow tummy, and he has blue spots on his back, and he's half dog, half fish, and with a magical tail. And so he's the main character in every single one of my books.
When you had that dream, did you have like Mexican food and margaritas and everything?
Maybe.
So did anyone, I guess your dad to a certain extent, inspire your writing?
Yes, he did. Well, I always enjoyed writing, and he also enjoyed writing. He was quite the Renaissance man. He scuba dive, he did everything. He was an outdoorsman. He played sports. He was, tennis. He was a ski instructor. He was just kind of, he did everything, and he was my hero.
Daddy's hero, huh?
Oh yeah.
Our author guest is Rita Reed at the American Library Association Podcast Pavilion today. Her brand new book, Dogfish Just Be You, from the Dogfish Tales series, winning lots of awards. And you are now, is it a Golden Wizard?
Yes.
Can I refer to you as a Golden Wizard?
Oh, sure.
Okay, good. All right, fine.
I like that. Yeah.
So who is the target audience for these books? What age group would like the Dogfish books?
Well, it's basically, people buy them for their babies because the colors are so bright and engaging, and but of course it's anywhere from any child up to the age of 8, I would say.
Okay, all right, very good, and you're right, they are super colorful. So if you look these books up on Amazon.com or wherever you get your books, you'll see Dogfish just kind of jumps out there. Tell us about Dogfish as a character.
Well, he is lovable, fun, he cares about everybody. He's concerned about helping his friends, and so in each one of my books has a different. He goes to different places. He loves to travel.
Yes.
So
most dogfish do.
Yeah. So the first one, it takes place in the Santa Monica Bay, which is where he lives. And so
Write what you know, huh?
Yes, and that one is based on pollution in the ocean. And so it kind of goes through where trash can come from, and what kids can do, and that no one is too small to make a difference to help our planet, the ocean. And then the second one is Dogfish Stands Up to Bullying. So so he travels to the Amazon, meets a pink dolphin, helps the pink dolphin because she's being bullied, and it just goes through different things that kids can do if they are being bullied, and also to build empathy, because the person who it's just, you have to read the book. It's good. It's fun and it's light. They all are very light.
So it is interesting. You say they're light, and yet you're subtly working in some good life lessons there.
Yes, that is my mission. I want to really have great messages that are meaningful and that can start great conversations with children, because I think when a parent or caretaker is talking to a child, reading them a story, especially at night when it's quiet, that's when they can really open up about their feelings and talk about different issues that they're going through. So that was really, that was something that was in my mind when I first started writing. I thought, this is because that's how I was with my kids. When I would read to them every night, I would go in each one of their rooms and spend time with them, and we would have the best conversations. We could really communicate at that time, So.
The new book, Dogfish Just Be You, what do you mean by just be you?
Well, this is a book to teach children to not worry about trying to be something they're not. Don't worry about trying to be, there's always a child that is great at sports or that can really sing, but we don't all have that gift. We
Right.
have our own gifts. Everybody has their own special gift, and in this book, the one thing that is repeated throughout this book is a quote from my late son, and he wrote it to my daughter as she graduated college, and it is, never doubt yourself and keep moving forward. You have so much to offer the world. So I wanted that message to be put out into the world so that children could benefit from that. And it's like the mantra of that book.
Sorry to hear that you lost a child.
Thank you.
How many kids total do you have?
Well, I have 3 and my husband has 4. So together we have 7.
So at one point, that was not a quiet house.
I know, a lot of fun.
You've got another dogfish in you?
I do. And this next one is about inclusion, and that everybody, no matter who they are, the world is just not complete unless everybody is included.
Right.
So that'll be coming out in September.
Oh, so it's just around the corner.
It is, yes.
It's become difficult for some moms and dads and teachers to engage kids and get them to read. We're in a very, as very electronic world. Mm-hmm. And, just last week, I was in a restaurant and there was a young mom and a young dad, 3 kids, all 5 of them face down in the phone.
Right.
And not talking at the restaurant.
Right.
And I thought how different it is today than it was just a few years ago. What's the answer? How do we engage kids to read?
Well, I think if everybody can just take a moment and have them put the phones down, have them put the computers down, unless they're reading on their Kindle.
Right.
That's okay.
That's allowed.
Right. But I think it's so important to keep that personal interaction, because like I said, it's when you can really communicate with your child and find out what they've experienced during the days. I think one of my favorite things to do is to say, what was the the best part of your day and what was the worst part of your day, and really start some great conversations. But I think children's books are such an incredible vehicle for having that communication. They're just, it's very important.
Well, it's super important, and it should be super fun. And what I like about these books is they are fun. I mean, these things, they just sort of pop right out at you. See, this is the bookstore, you want to grab it.
Yes.
So each of these books, I'm assuming, and maybe I shouldn't assume, let me ask you that question. Can you pick up any one of these and they stand on their own? Do you have to read them all?
They all stand on their own.
Great.
Yes, because each one has its own message, and you don't have it. It doesn't matter if you've read one of the others; they are all their own story. But the same character, Dogfish, is in each one of these. He will be in the whole series.
That's the common thread, right?
Yes,
and so you attach. My generation when I was a kid, it was Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Right.
And Clifford was in all of them. So
Right.
Do you have favorite children's book authors that you look up to or that you remember as a kid?
Well, Dr. Seuss.
Oh,
of course. I mean, who doesn't love Dr. Seuss?
Yep.
And oh my gosh.
It's tough to beat Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
And the illustrations were so great. The rhyming was great. I heard a consultant say not too long ago, "Oh, the rhyming, that's so old school."
I love the
timeless,
rhyming.
Right?
Yes. And that, I think, all my books are rhyming. And I think that it gives it like a bounciness and a lightness throughout the story, and it keeps children engaged, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, and also these illustrations are done by Craig Cartwright, and he is amazing. He's done work for Disney, Pixar. You'll see all of his information inside. He worked on The Simpsons. He's done a lot of work, and with cartoons. And I couldn't be happier with the way that the illustrations come out. And it's funny. He lives very close by. He lives in Venice, but I've never met him in person. We've always just talked over the phone. And our first conversation when I found him. I was explaining to him about my character and the idea for my first book, and that was about pollution in the ocean. And he said, he told me he lived in Venice, and he said, "Oh yeah, pollution. It's not just the pollution though; it's the microplastics." And I was like, "You're my guy.
You're the one."
Yeah.
Oh, his illustrations are fantastic.
Yes.
The Dogfish Tales series by author Rita Reed, illustrated by Craig Cartwright. If folks want to pick these up, I know the publisher is Fine Eye Media. Where can they get them?
Amazon.
Okay. And
Barnes & Noble. Online. If you Google Dogfish Tales, you'll find them. And my website is www.dogfishtales.com. And there's also some great Dogfish merch.
Get your Dogfish swag here. Dogfish swag.
Yeah.
Dogfishtales.com.
Yes.
I like it. Very good.
Yes.
The Dogfish Tales series is by multi-award-winning author Rita Reed. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All hail the Golden Wizard, Rita Reed. All right, pick up those books for your kids, your grandkids, kids that are special to you. They're going to love them, and they might just pick up a lesson or two that Rita has stealthily slipped in the back door while still making them fun to read. Hey, thanks for being here.
Burke, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Get out there and sign some books for your fans at the American Library Association event. Right?
Okay, will do.
If you thought that we just had a really loud studio, well, it's true. We're in the Podcast Pavilion in San Diego at the American Library Association's annual conference and exhibition, surrounded by tens of thousands of rowdy librarians. You librarians, keep it down out there, for God's sake. Calm down. We're close to lunch hour, and they're all bellied up at the bar. Hey, thank you for listening. We do new podcasts every Tuesday for the Big Time Talker. You can get them everywhere. Thank you, Zoom Into Books. Thank you, Headline Books. Thank you to our executive producer, Greg. And thanks to our guest, Rita Reed. Now, wherever you go today, whatever you do, make it a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.